Hello everyone, Ramble video time. I'm in one of those moods where simultaneously I'm feeling like making a video and not making a video, and I have plenty of ideas on my plate. Some of those ideas I've worked with. I'm invested in them. I've put effort in them, and I just don't feel like working on them right now. Um, and I felt this way for a couple days lately, and some of those things that make me feel this way I can't talk about because they're work related and, confidentiality issues, blah, blah, blah. But I can summarize by saying that in part of my life, I'm not feeling very appreciated for what it is that I do. And so, like I tell everybody else who's not feeling appreciated, you need to get to a place where you are appreciated and you feel like you are being appreciated. So I'm working on that. Um, but at any rate, the biggest part of my feeling this way has nothing to do with YouTube, right? And yet anything that I can talk about to you guys here on YouTube will be about YouTube stuff, or something that is in the news or relatable. And none of this stuff is as big as my measuring stick of life, which is all the other stress that I have in my life. So, yeah, I'm at this point where, yeah, there's stuff to talk about on YouTube, but it's not the stuff I really want to get off my chest and can't. So I felt this way for a couple days, um, and it is stifling. It is really choking my brain. I actually feel like there's an exhaust leak in my truck, and it's been filling the cab, and I feel foggy. I feel like my brain's just being choked by drama. Um, and there of course will be some of you that'll be like, "Oh, boo hoo! You're the fucking one who creates drama." True, true, but the staggering level of drama I'm dealing with in my real life is just it's arresting my mind seriously. Um, but I can address some things here on YouTube that I've seen, and just try to make a video and try to have some outlet for some things. First thing I'll talk about is corpse humpers again. Just like the parachuting, there's been corpse humpers, and I felt a little urge to make another corpse humpers video, but yeah, my life has left such a bad taste in my mouth for everything that I just lost interest. Um, for those of you who don't follow my channel, or who are new to the term corpse humpers, it's a bit like ambulance chasing lawyers, only it's uh, mass shooting chasing YouTubers. And everyone who made a video about the Orlando shooting, I suppose, feels like they had their own unique take on it, and felt like their voice was something that, you know, added to the conversation, but for many of them, I don't feel that way. And it ignites a little fire inside of me. Um, so yeah, one of those videos that I saw in particular that a clear thinking me probably would have made a response to was by Firestarter, um, a guy that I've made responses to before. He's a Christian, and yeah, he's not happy with the gay agenda being pushed forward, and his entire video was pwnable. I should have, but I just don't feel like it. I really am out of it. Around the beginning of me feeling this way, around the same time as I started this troubling time in my life, I got some messages from DevShell where he was not happy with me. Got them up on my screen right here. He said, Michael, you know what? Fuck you, man. Seriously. All you had to do was check and see that if I had blocked you before you spread that fucking lie that caused me so much grief online. Yeah, I didn't check to see if he had actually blocked me when he said blocking you all 'cause reasons. That's something that I brought up in a previous video, and then learned that he was joking amidst all of the other people who said that they had blocked me and unsubscribed. People who like to leave the comment unsubscribed as they're unsubscribing. I even tweeted out a couple examples of that. How fucking hard would it have been to check? It wouldn't have been hard at all, but I didn't think about checking. I just took Dev at his word, because Poe's Law, if you look like the people that you're trying to parody, there will be some people who cannot discern the two. And obviously DevShell thinks that I should have been able to, but whatever. Seriously, asshole, you deal with drama-sucking vaginal blood squirts that are losing their fucking shit over the wrong information you spread. And the wrong information that I spread was that he had actually blocked me because he said, blocked because reasons. And then I feel like I left a pretty level-headed response to that in the midst of stuff that I was going through. I took a little time to respond to it. I said, I can see you're upset, and I understand that. Sometimes my jokes aren't received as they're intended either. I was upset too, wrongly, when I didn't get DevShell's joke, and I took him for his word that I was blocked. I thought he was upset with me, and now I'm just upset that he's upset with me for real. And then I said, Goosfraba, But in response, he said, considering there were 4 people tagged in a post about blocking for no reason, which I said I blocked no one in particular 'cause reasons, and everyone else knew it was an obvious joke, I think you should perhaps set the record straight. Whether or not everyone else knew that this was a joke, I don't even know that they did. I'm not checking. I will say that I'm not those people, and I'm not in the same circumstances, and I actually have been going through a lot of people telling me blocked or unsubscribed, and that is something that was part of the context of the video that I made a couple of videos ago. Also, I've tweeted out a few examples of this, and so being that the whole context of the video that I made was being unhappy with the redrawing of battle lines between atheist and theist, and now it being SJW and shitlord that really matters, and that my friends have been torn apart by this, and me, speaking on that issue, I think that I'm not in the same place that everyone else who knew this was a joke was, and that's how I'm okay with my reaction to that, in that I just took that at its word, because the sarcasm as people leave and unsubscribe or block, it's the same. It's very similar. It was a very good joke if it was a joke, because it really captured the sarcasm of everyone else that's doing it. But he goes on to say, perhaps you should set the record straight. Not doing so is kind of fucked up. In the 2 instances that it mattered the most, and in other instances on that video, in the comment section, I actually said, look, he said it was a joke. It's in this comment section. And I posted that. It's part of those posts. And the 2 that's most important are Laurasaurus and CEHBeach. Those were the two conversations that went long. They were back and forths, and yeah, I feel like I didn't let it stand. As soon as I saw it became a problem in my comment section, I corrected them. And then Dev goes on to say, seriously, this is on you 100%. And although I apologize for this thing happening as much as it was my fault, I don't believe that it was my fault 100%. And here's why. Number one, there's another conversation in the comment section where you explained to me that this was a joke, and we were joking back and forth in that conversation. But then 3 hours later, I come back to YouTube and I find that there's some conversations that have gone long between Laurasaurus and DevShell and between CEHBeach and DevShell that were horrible. They went down a path that was just cringeworthy. Everyone can go back to that video and still read them. They're still there. And see just how bad they went. Okay, so if what I did was seriously 100% my fault, that this happened to DevShell, that this experience between him and Laurasaurus and CEHBeach was there, then I don't think that we could have been joking 3 hours earlier, because that was the extent of my input there. Then when those two commented, I corrected them with, hey, he has posted that it was a joke and that I misunderstood. And then those conversations went horribly wrong. They went bad places. And then it's my fault 100%, and that I'm an asshole. I deal with drama-sucking vaginal blood squirts. Fuck me. Yeah. All of that reaction to me looks like, because it came after those long conversations, which DevShell was part of that back and forth, it looks like it came after the fact, and to me, this problem could not have occurred if it were just me and DevShell seeing that I got his joke wrong. To me, it looks like Laurasaurus and CEHBeach had problems with DevShell beforehand. And a lot of these came out in that conversation. And they were using my video as the platform to have that conversation with him back and forth. And I imagine in other places they blocked each other, so that this platform that I gave them, being that I was at work and not checking my YouTube comments, as far as being able to moderate them at all, which I never do anyway. So just being that I have a platform that I don't moderate, that's part of the reason why I'm at fault, right? But the content that they put up, I'm not at fault for. I don't feel like I can even apologize for it because it wasn't me. So yeah, I don't feel like 100% at fault for the experience that DevShell had, but sorry you had a bad day, and I still think that you're a good person who does good things, and I really respect your entrepreneurship, and yeah. And also, DevShell ended, and really, I have no problem telling someone who starts drama for no reason to fuck off, and this is what you've done, don't be a dick. I didn't say those things that I did in my video for no reason. I had a reason. The reason was contained in the video, and I'll explain it again. I am not happy with the way that friends that I have had that used to align on certain political notions are now torn from each other because those battle lines have been redrawn. And it's causing a lot of drama. I said that in the video, but now I'll say it again. And then he finishes with, and why would you assume I was directing the joke at you? It's a little puzzling. I never directed that tweet at you. Maybe you should take a seat and ponder your assumptions. So, the thread that it was from was me being quoted by TJ after being retweeted by Thunderfoot, and yeah, that's why I would have assumed that it was about me, because it came right after that, you know. Also, as far as pondering my assumptions, maybe this is saying that I'm just a little guy on YouTube, and I get that. I am. In fact, the tweet that got retweeted by The Amazing Atheist, it had like 101 likes and like 40 or so retweets. The Amazing Atheist, a day or two ago, tweeted about his bodily functions and got just as many likes and retweets. So yeah, I'm like not even his pinky toe worth of impact on the internet. If I died tomorrow, the internet would be able to carry on without me, without having any sort of campaign or even a hashtag. As far as me pondering that, I'm very humble in that respect. I'm not sad about that, and much of what I do to make myself feel better about myself has nothing to do with YouTube, really. But as far as being, I guess, narcissistic in thinking that that was about me, it was something that looked a lot like a lot of the other guff that I've gotten recently. Anyways, let's see. Another thing that's crossed my mind lately is that I've seen two instances of Dark Matter 2525 showing part of his political thought. One was a video on the Dark Matter 2525 channel where he had someone getting beheaded by some terrorists and being shamed for Islamophobia, and I felt like that, and a recent video he made on the Dark Antics channel where he was explaining how the Muslim terrorist attacks are not treated the same way as misogyny or other things, and basically terrorist attacks that were based on homophobia and other things. So he laid out something that to me shows that when I was tracking what I called the SJW circle jerk, when he came up as being connected through transactions, I threw him in with that because I was just following the facts where they went and not really realizing that there was someone that was such an outlier to the label that I gave the entire group. Because by these two videos that he's made, I can make the call right here. Even though it's a subjective call, I'll make it for myself that he's not an SJW. And yet he was included along with everyone else in that video that I made, the SJW Patreon Circle Jerk. And it's also very telling to see his reaction to that video in the comment section of that video versus, say, Matt Dillahunty and Seth Andrews. So I really feel like although the data did show that the connections between everyone, and I followed them out to where they went and just followed the data where it led, I feel like he doesn't belong being saddled with that label that I gave the entire group. He's very much the outlier there. And I felt like he deserved an apology for me saying that, or at least a retraction like I'm doing now, because he really is a different person than the rest of those people that were connected through Patreon financial transactions. Yeah, and that's all I really can muster to talk about right now, because my life has gotten so unmanageable on my end, off camera, in things that I can't even talk about. And so none of that really is what I want to talk about. None of it. I'm going to have a bit of a hard time for the next 10 days. I won't be around as much, but hopefully I'll get back to being normal me and not feeling like I've had my brain choked with carbon monoxide.